golden Olympic moments. Moments from a lifetime of dedication and sacrifice.
She's done it!
Going to the Olympics representing the United States was absolutely amazing.
Moments no one can forget.
And then I got up on the medal stand. It wasn't until about halfway through the national anthem I realized where I was at. You know, I'm up here on the podium getting the gold medal, and I'm just like, this is too good to be true.
And to see that flag being raised and to hear the anthem is the most amazing thing. Even to this day, if I go to a baseball game or football game, whatever, and I hear the anthem, I still get chills and my eyes kind of water because that's a moment that you can't ever replace.
It is a level of athletic perfection most of us cannot even fathom, where a fraction of a second can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Join us as we go behind closed doors of the U.S. Olympic Training Center, where science meets sports to give athletes the competitive edge they'll need to be the best in the world.
One of the 3 Olympic training centers is nestled on 35 acres near the foothills of Colorado's Rocky Mountains. On the outside, the training complex resembles a college campus, except in here, the students are all potential Olympic champions. The 26-building complex is designed to meet the athletes' every need so they could focus on becoming their very best. The dining hall serves up loads of healthy food. Residence halls provide cozy apartment-style living. And a sports science lab keeps up to date on cutting-edge technology. Plus, of course, pools and gyms for a dozen different Olympic sports. If the Olympic Training Center had a mayor, it would be Acting Chief Executive Officer Scott Blackman.
It's virtually like a little city that can take care of itself. How many athletes come through here a year?
Believe it or not, we've got 13,000 athletes who will visit our various training centers in a given year. Not all here in Colorado Springs, but we also have centers in Lake Placid, New York, and in Chula Vista, California. A tremendous number of athletes. On any given day, we've got about 375 athletes who would be here training.
Not just anyone can sign up for training. They have to be chosen. Each sport has a committee that decides which of their best athletes have Olympic potential.
Take it to the game level, come on.
Out of thousands of gifted contenders, only the top few will make it to one of the centers.
It's not gonna like that in the competition, son.
And who pays for it?
What might surprise people the most is that we do all of this without any government funding at all. I think this is the American people who are supporting this, either by buying the products of our sponsors or by tuning into the broadcast or by directly supporting us with their donations.
To find proof that the donations pay off, look no further than Tara Knott.
What does this provide you in order to really be a world-class athlete?
Well, for me, as an older athlete, I came here at 23. You have bills to pay, all those type of things to worry about, and I could come out here and really just focus on training. I lived in the dorms. They made all my food for me. I had sports medicine, I had sports psychology, so I really had everything I needed so I could just focus on competing and getting to the Olympics.
American to win a gold medal in weightlifting since 1960. She took home to Kansas what they all dream about.
You brought yours with you,
I did,
right?
absolutely.
May I see it?
Oh yeah, you can put it on. You can
I bet
hold
everybody
it.
just wants to see it. Oh my gosh, it's very, very pretty.
Olympic medals are crafted from about $70 worth of ribbon and plated metal. But to Tara, it's made out of priceless memories.
I really couldn't believe it. I mean, it still all feels like a dream. People say, oh, you're a gold medalist, and it doesn't really register to me, and I don't think until maybe 20 years down the line when I look at my medal and say, wow, what an experience that was.
Behind the closed doors of the Sports Science Center, athletes are pushed past their physical limits in what they call a max test.
There's a test running right now. In fact, we've got a triathlete up here doing a test on the treadmill.
Staff members don't just gauge the athlete's endurance, they examine what makes an athlete tick.
What we're looking for are changes in his blood chemistry. There are certain things that change in the blood chemistry, and we monitor them at different intensities, and that'll help us talk to the coach and fine-tune their training so that they're training exactly at the right level.
Peter Davis is the chief scientist who can cook up whatever the coaches order. For instance, when they needed specific information about volleyball players' jumping ability, no device existed that could do the test. So Peter's staff of biomechanics improvised one, using, of all things, plumbers' helpers and light bulb changers.
You can't buy this stuff. You have to make the things that you need to test. And so we can test how high the athletes jump, their reaction times, their speed to the outside of the net.
So then you can tell the coach who's better at which function
The
and
coach,
where to put them.
Exactly. They can devise their strategy to know how fast the opposition can set one way and how fast we can get to the outside of the net, and helps determine our strategy.
So these are subtle little changes, maybe the way your hand or your foot is,
exactly.
that could make the difference of a 1/100th of a second,
Exactly.
which could be
100th of a second.
win.
That one outside set that gets over the net that is the winning point in the Olympics, that's what we aim to do.
So it's been a real success using science in sports.
Well, put it the other way, you can't have success without it. Gone are the days of the freak athlete, the lucky bounce. It's all controlled and programmed.
No sport goes without scientific help. Even the brute force of a boxer is analyzed with a computer-equipped punching bag. A sensitive and durable device built into the bag measures force and duration of each punch. This high-tech science helps Coach Bashir Abdullah and boxer Mike Alvarez improve punching performance.
He's throwing his right hand incorrectly. He's pulling it away from his side when he should shoot the right hand pressed up against his side.
Biomechanics can give them an edge, but it takes something immeasurable to get to that medal podium. Heart.
You obviously, though, have given up a lot. I mean, you give up, the kind of life that's normal to everybody else. What's that like?
I didn't have a girlfriend throughout all high school. I didn't, go out on dates. I didn't, sleep over with friends, stuff like that. And I gave it all up, to try to be the best, and hopefully it pays off one day.
So you think it's worth it?
It's by far, if I can make that, Olympic medal stand, it's by far, it's all worth it.
Well, I hope to see you up there on that podium.
I'll be there, Joan.
From the boxer's punch to a swimmer's stroke, here they can test and train them all. I went behind closed doors to have my swimming stroke scrutinized in a sort of underwater treadmill. They call it the flume.
This is where we do some of our pace training, that kind of thing.
Gold medalist B.J. Bedford has spent countless hours in the flume. In here, swimmers are analyzed from several angles. Everything can be controlled, from the water's temperature to the speed of its flow. Biomechanics director Scott Rewald gave me an important warning.
When you get tired or when you're finished, swim to the side and grab onto the railing. Don't just give up, because you will get pushed back.
Get sucked into the end?
Yeah, that's my fear right there. I hated coming in here because I was afraid that I would be the first fatality in United States swimming history.
BJ showed me her Olympic form. BJ wanted to cruise along at an easy pace. It looked pretty fast to me. But down in the control room, Scott and the tech crew decided to challenge BJ's abilities. They cranked up the pace with just a twist of a knob.
3-7.
They're making that faster, aren't they? Yes.
Then it was my turn.
All right, you can do it. Okay.
With more than just a little trepidation, I started to swim. The thought of being pushed into the grate was on my mind. All I could think was, don't stop.
You did great. That was great. You get tired really fast. There is no slowing down. Yep.
BJ gave me some valuable gold medal advice.
My body, think about a position about 2 inches below your belly button and focus on staying straight, keeping your spine in line, because anything that's, anytime your spine is out of line, it acts like speed bumps and the water hits it and slows you down. Good.
I tried to focus on form.
Way better. Much better.
Balanced, smooth, and quick. For just a moment, I could glimpse the medal stand, and then getting sucked into the grate.
For many athletes competing at this level of intensity, injuries are inevitable. But behind the closed doors of the sports medicine department, advances in technology and treatment are keeping athletes in the game.
These athletes that we deal with are always working on the edge. There's a fine line between catastrophe and excellence in performance.
So what happened? The other guy win?
Almost. It was in weightlifting.
You won't find doctors performing surgery here. What you will find are the best rehab programs available. This is Brett Weatherby. He competes in the modern pentathlon. A stress fracture in his right leg could have sidelined him for months. But Brett stays in the medal hunt by getting a low-impact workout in this state-of-the-art Hydra treadmill. Other therapies range from hands-on massage to high-tech ultrasound, but the most prescribed is the lowest tech, ice. Lots and lots of ice. Sometimes recovery is not an option. This athlete had a minor knee problem, but more severe injuries can mean the end of a dream.
What's the hardest part of your job?
It's very simple. When you have to tell an athlete that they can't realize their goal, that is truly the most challenging.
Now you're 100-100 on this.
While athletes focus on training the body, often the game is won with the mind. So potential medal winners work with sports psychologists behind closed doors at the Olympic training centers. Wrestler T.C. Dantzler allowed us to go into a private session with sports psychologist Sean McCann.
You know, they teach you that winning isn't everything, you know. Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing.
Great elite athlete has to be great physically, obviously, but they also have to be great on the mental side. And there's almost an assumption that anybody can figure out the mental side. That's not true. Some athletes are more gifted, more skilled at mental skills than other people. And so we work to improve everybody's mental skills.
Athletes are rehearsed in what they call the egg chair.
Move forward in time to the match. See yourself at the venue, ready to wrestle.
The strategy is to block out noise and focus only on their goal so they don't choke when the pressure is on. It worked for Tara Knott.
I worked with the sports psychologist before the Olympics to be able to handle the distractions. You kind of go into a zone, and I don't remember half the competition. I remember walking up on the platform. I don't remember the judge telling me to put the weight down because I was in such a focus to really just get the best out of my lifting.
Just how important is mental conditioning? I asked swimmer Amy Van Dyken. She came away from the Atlanta Olympics with 4 gold medals.
You've got to be totally focused. I mean, you've worked your entire lifetime for this one moment. And you can't let someone up in the stands, you know, flashing a, hey, Amy, will you marry me sign or whatever it is, distract you. You can't pay attention to anything.
Do you hear it, or do you somehow literally focus it out?
I totally block it out. I don't hear the music. I don't hear the crowd. The only thing that I hear is my internal talk.
And what is that internal talk saying?
What does she think she's doing in my pool? Doesn't she know who I am? This is my race. I own it. How dare her think that she can race me? It's kind of mean, and it's totally different from my regular personality, but that's what I have to do to get myself ready.
The Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs has been the launching pad for many Olympic dreams. None more surprising than one of a wrestler from Wyoming, Rulon Gardner. Growing up on a farm, Rulon was a big guy from a big family. And while he was known for his top conditioning, Rulon proved that you've got to have heart to make it to the medal stand.
Where I grew up in Wyoming, I always learned you have to give 100% to everything you do, and I think that's what heart is the ability to give 100% no matter what it is, as long as it takes. And when I go out to wrestle or I go out to milk the cows, whatever I did through my life, I always give 100%.
At the Sydney Olympics, Rulon would face the top wrestler from Russia, Alexander Karelin, who in 13 years had never been defeated. No one ever expected Rulon to win. They called what happened the miracle on the mat.
He made a mistake. He didn't think that I could beat him. And I took an opportunity and I seized it and went out there and just got him so tired to where he physically couldn't respond. And that's how I beat him.
It was a shocking upset. When Rulon's hand was raised in victory, no one was more stunned than he.
That's it! Oh my gosh! Rulon Gardner has beaten the champ.
Everybody else in the competition who had won the gold medal did backflips. And 280 pounds, I can't do a backflip. So I said to myself, I said, well, I'll just go out and do a cartwheel because everybody mocks how pretty my cartwheels are.
Look, he's still got energy.
Keep the pace, keep it steady.
The gold medal win was not the end, but another beginning for Rulon. He's back at the training center. The work goes on to take the dream to the next Olympics.
When I come in here, I give it 100% effort. I walk in here and say, hey, let's go.
It takes a lot to fuel the Olympic flame that burns in a hard-working competitor. So what does a gold medal wrestler eat?
Most people, don't think I've ever missed too many meals.
Everything he wants.
I'll go in up in the training center here at the dining hall, and I'll have 2 to 2.5 plates of food. It just depends. There'll be a variety. It depends what they have up there.
Food services may be the single most valuable support for athletes in training.
My biggest thing here is the dining hall. We're constantly either training, eating, or sleeping, and the fact that I can come in after a 2-hour bike ride and go into the dining hall and not have to fix my food, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's a huge deal for myself.
We serve about 20,000 athletes a year. We're doing about 330,000 meals a year here. 40,000 pounds of fruit gets sliced and diced on an annual basis, 60,000 gallons of milk. I mean, this is absolutely incredible operation to work in.
The heaviest eaters are the wrestlers, weightlifters, and cyclists who put away about 4,000 calories a day. Synchronized swimmers may eat about half that.
We spend about $1 million a year on groceries right here in Colorado Springs, so it's a lot of food.
There are no forbidden foods. The training center chefs will gladly cook the favorite comfort foods that athletes eat at home.
We're just an extension of mom. Whatever mom would cook them, that's what we're going to cook them. But we try to determine some of the cooking methods that may be a little less fat content than mom would give them.
Being like mom is no joke. Family support is something you can't serve up on a plate.
I think the biggest sacrifice in my life, I guess, has to be missing my family. And, I was kind of a mama's boy. I grew up as the youngest of 9 children. And I miss my family.
We've got kids here from 15 on up. When you're 15 years old, moving away from home for the first time and moving into a complex where you're surrounded by the stars of athletics, it can be pretty intimidating.
As important as it is for families to be there, they have to know when to leave.
There's a fine line, I guess, between family support and then when you get to the Olympics, a bit of distraction.
Yeah, it's really, really tough. I mean, you've got to have a great support system, and they have to know when to back off. They have to know the signals. You know, so I always had my little signal, you know, I would just kind of do that, and Mom would be like, okay, we're going to go get a Coke now.
Training here for the Olympics is life-consuming.
And so where does any kind of play or entertainment come in?
It doesn't really, not the year leading up to the Olympics. You have to be very focused. We do go watch a lot of movies, but we don't do a lot of things that would tax us. We can't be out riding a bike. We can't go skiing.
Olympic hopefuls must put their personal lives on hold, often missing out on major family events. Their dedication is so complete, the U.S. Olympic Committee made it the focus of this ad campaign.
So, what's USA stand for?
The U.S. Olympic team, they're not out there every 4 years. They're out there every day.